Hello community, welcome to A Cupful with myself, Tshegetso Mwepi. Hello community. Thank you so much for joining me in a new week for a new episode of A Cupful. You are officially part of this community and I hope you make yourself at home. A Cupful's main purpose is to help young people such as you and me navigate the in-betweens of life and take care of our well-being, or as I like to say, tend to our cups and keep them full, all the while working on healing, growing, learning, and ultimately thriving. Life is constantly happening in many different ways, and if this space can give you even a little bit of affirmation, knowledge, wisdom, the strength to keep going, whatever you need in your current season and that which you can apply in your future seasons, my job would be done, and the purpose of this podcast would 100% be fulfilled, which would make me absolutely happy. Welcome to August. Hello. I know I'm a few days late, better late than never, right? I've had to make a few changes to this month's recording schedule, so I ended up having to make a couple of adjustments to the structure of this month's overall plan and when I'm going to publish or release each episode and so forth. But I do have some really exciting content in store for this month, which I am very much looking forward to. I cannot wait, and I'm excited that this is the platform that I get to share this on. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude, first and foremost. Before we begin with this week's episode, I really want to say thank you so much for the kindness and just taking time to listen to A Cupful. I have been getting quite a lot of support and I am really grateful for that. The community is growing, the listenership bases are growing as well on different continents, and I'm really grateful that A Cupful is going that far and it's reaching that many people and it's reaching that many ears. That is one of the biggest goals of this podcast, is for it to reach as many people as possible and be impactful as well. I hope my company has been comforting and that each topic has been impactful or has resonated with you in one way or another. And I really am so excited to continue being part of the growth of this amazing community. Thank you so much. So it's Women's Month here in South Africa, and so I saw it fitting to center this month's conversations around Black women, my favorite people in the whole wide world. It is really important to me to always celebrate Black women. I am surrounded by them through sisterhood and acquaintanceship. I was raised by Black women, and I can confidently say I am becoming the woman of my dreams because of the nurturing love and guidance of Black women. I am a Black woman, and I am incredibly proud to be one. There is nothing that I am more proud of to be a Black woman, and I'm always so happy to be surrounded by Black women as well, which is why I chose this week's topic, because of how much pride I take in the person I am intentionally choosing to become each and every day, the big sister to little me, the person that little Tshegetso would be proud to be able to look up to, the person that heals little me, the big girl that I did not imagine I could become, but that I needed to become. So I'd really never in a million years thought that I would be in the state of mind that I'm in, or I would be in the spiritual and even physical place that I'm in right now. And I'm so grateful for it. Because when you feel that something is like it's just perfect and it's just right, that's how I feel right now at this point in my life. Even though I haven't achieved a lot of the things that I want to achieve, I don't feel a sense of emptiness. I feel quite fulfilled. And it's so nice to feel. And it's something that I've wanted to feel for a long time. Because even when I had achieved certain material things or certain career things, and there were just some milestones that I'd reached, there was still an emptiness that I felt. But right now, in the place that I'm in right now, I don't have much material-wise. I don't have much money. Girl, I don't have any money at all. But I'm very happy. Like, I'm super content, and it feels really, really nice to be in this place. So today's episode is kind of like a diary entry to little me, but it's also a big thank you to all the Black women who have contributed to the person that I am becoming gradually, the person that I am right now. So please do give this a listen, and I really do hope that you enjoy today's episode. So I'm 26 years old and have been through my fair share of hardships and trauma. Life has sometimes been very unkind to me, very, very unkind to me. I have come into things I never, ever, ever thought I would get through. And I've often struggled to forgive others and myself for things that cannot be undone, because holding on to pain meant not dealing with my trauma. I have been the hurt one, the bitter one, the hateful one, the woman in pain, the hopeless woman, the shackled in other people's opinions of me woman, the struggling to get out of bed woman. I have wanted to give up on myself so many times. What I'm trying to say is it has gotten better, so much better, and I'm so grateful that I am here. I believe in God, so I'm really grateful to God that I'm in a much better place. I believe in my ancestors, so I'm really grateful to my ancestors that I'm in a better place. And I also believe in the universe and it constantly working for my good, and so I'm also grateful that the universe has shifted and changed so many things about how I feel about myself and just the outlook that I have on my life. And you know what? I'm also human, and there is plenty I'm still trying to navigate. But the really big difference between, for example, 20-year-old Tsagedzo and 26-year-old Tsagedzo is that life looks worth fighting for now more than it ever has. I look at life a lot more differently. I look at my past a lot more differently. I look at my present a lot more differently. And I most definitely also look at my future a lot more differently. And right now, the only thing that I'm really afraid of is not living out my full potential and purpose in life. Being too scared to get out of my comfort zone because it looks too scary out there, for example. Those have become my fears. Not whether I fit in or not whether I have the social capital or not whether I'm lovable or not whether I'm beautiful or not whether someone thinks less of me or not. It's none of that. It's none of those things anymore. I just feel like I'm in a place where I'm more concerned about the things that have value in my life, the things that are important in my life, and the things that matter the most to me, not to other people. And so it's been so much easier to just sit with myself and focus a lot more and close out the noise. I'm in a position when I'm in a place where I want to heal. I want to grow and love and live in my purpose, forget what everyone else thinks about me, and just focus on becoming the best version of me. I intentionally want to keep becoming the big sister to 12-year-old me who needed to hear, you are beautiful and intelligent and lovable, and you have such a beautiful and bold personality. You're going to grow up to do really amazing for yourself. That it's okay not to be wanted by everyone, that the sadness will go away and you'll find many spaces to be yourself and to truly be happy, that you aren't weird, just very different from everyone else, which is perfectly normal, that the bullies and the snide comments made by older family members about the kind of person you are and the pimples all over your body and face is just them projecting and trying to find a way to soothe their own unresolved pain. So those are some of the things that I'm so happy I have worked my way through, and I am not internalizing anymore. And what I was saying right now, I was saying to 13-year-old me who really needed to hear it. And it's so good that I can carry that with myself all the time, and affirm myself and believe in myself and remind myself that you're doing good, you're doing your best, that your life is not over just because of this happened, that it's okay to let go, and most importantly, that little me has a big person to look up to, someone grown who knows to be kind and knows to be affirming and knows to say what I need to hear in that moment. It really isn't easy to put the work into anything, but at the end of the day, it will always be worth it. And I am so grateful and I am so happy and I'm so content that I've been working as hard as I have on myself, working on being a better me and for the ones that I love, for the important people in my life, because who I am does affect my relationships. Who I choose to show up as does affect all of the relationships that I have with all of the people in my life, my parents, my siblings, my partner, my friends, acquaintances. So it's really important. I always say it's important to remember that we live in community and we can't behave like we live in isolation, where our actions do not affect the people around us, where the things that we say do not affect the people around us, where the things that we initiate, the things we choose to participate in, do not affect the people around us, because they most certainly do. So if anything, when you are working on yourself, you're also working on becoming a better person in your relationships and to the people in your life. You become kinder, you become more loving, you are teaching yourself just to be a better version of yourself. I really love right now as well that I'm my biggest hype woman, that I enjoy showing up for myself, teaching myself the things I was too scared to go for in the past, enjoying my own company. I love that so much. I love that I can be on my own and absolutely appreciate it and absolutely enjoy it and embrace it, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else in that moment when I'm on my own, which I'm really grateful for. It's taken some time to be able to be comfortable in my own presence, to be able to be comfortable with being alone, and sometimes just being in the silence, and sometimes just like enjoying a day of just being in my own space and watching movies and watching series or reading a book or working on content for a episode of A Cupful. Whatever it may be, being in my own company is something that I really do enjoy, and the older I get, the better it gets. I enjoy that I can eat what I love and drink what I love. I enjoy looking at my face and putting makeup on. Oh my goodness, I really enjoy doing my skincare routine, whether it's at night, whether it's in the morning. It's one of my favorite things to do. It just feels like me time. It just feels just so special. It feels like I'm in heaven. It really does. I really like dressing up to go wherever makes me happy. I'm experiencing and feeling safe in my sisterhoods, getting closer to my mom and siblings, mending my relationship with my dad and letting go of the things I was holding on to so tightly that they were tearing at the last threads of our father-daughter relationship. Giving romantic love a chance and just like enjoying the time that I have with my partner, enjoying my partner, getting to know him and respecting him and respecting his boundaries and having him respect my boundaries. I'm in a relationship that feels safe, that feels comfortable, where I don't have to ever be anyone other than myself, and I will attribute actively wanting to and intentionally wanting to heal and let go of certain things to being able to tap into those parts of my romantic relationship with my partner. Removing things and people from my life that were not the peace and happiness that I needed. Now this one is something that I have constantly had to do, and I'm really happy that I know when it's time to let go of things and let go of people that are not serving me, that are not good for me. I know when it's time to let go and also not be bitter about it and not hold grudges and not be unforgiving, whether it's to the person or to the people or whether it's to myself. I know to let go. I know how to let go. I know how to let go. Like I'm really happy that I know how to let go, and I can give myself the room, the grace, the kindness to say, that happened, you didn't like that, a lot of things happened there that you did, that you contributed to, but we won't be doing that again. And so I'm grateful that's the place that I find myself in. Also, nurturing my spirit and mind, learning to hold myself accountable and learning from my mistakes. Those two things have been so important as well, in just like, or they've been the results of actively and intentionally wanting to grow and wanting to move past things, wanting to work through things, that I've wanted to really just be in a better place spiritually and sharpen my mind and find myself being more focused and really just knowing what I want as well, and not going with the wind. And when people say let's do this, I do it as well. Nurturing my mind has helped me stay standing where I am and being comfortable with it, even if it's not something that everybody else wants to go with. And nurturing my spirit has allowed me to really develop better relationship with God, and to also have faith, faith that a lot of the things that I'm experiencing right now are seasonal and that they're going to move. And I don't internalize them anymore. That's why I don't carry them as heavy as I used to. And it's light. I just like that the load rather is very, very light. The light is load. The load is really, really light. Holding myself accountable and learning from my mistakes has also meant that I'm not going to blame anyone, and I'm not going to want to be angry at people for absolutely no reason, or so that I can evade responsibility. No, girl, that's not how it's going to work. And I know taking responsibility and holding yourself accountable can be very, very difficult, but it's very, very important, because if you are not able to do that for yourself as a person, you are stifling your own growth. And we don't want that here. We want to grow, and we want to be able to say that happened. I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I will find ways to rectify it or to fix it if I can. And then we're going to move on and never repeat those mistakes. And also just being more vocal about my wants and my needs. To the people in my life, to myself, it was so difficult for me in the past to do that. I have always been somebody that has wanted to make other people comfortable at my own expense, but that was really destroying my sense of self, and I had a low self-esteem, and I also ended up being very resentful towards the people in my life when I didn't say anything to them. So whether be it my mom, whether be it my friends, whether be it my partner. And one thing about a romantic relationship is that you are going to have a lot of things come up that you were trying to ignore and avoid, like the trauma that you were trying to hide, your triggers that you were trying to hide, they are going to pop up, they're going to show up. And it's not to say that your partner is like a horrible person or they just mistreat you. No, it's got nothing to do with that. It's just that in one way or another, I think I'm going to say in any relationship, but I've seen that in romantic relationships, things come up, things that you might have wanted to avoid before, like I said, triggers and traumas, and they're going to come up and you're going to have to face them head on. So I've had to learn to approach things a lot more differently, and when I see a thing and I don't like it, or I feel a thing and I don't like it, speak my mind in that moment, just also overall sharing my opinion on things when it comes to anything. So I'm a very opinionated person. I have strong views. I have a strong personality. I studied politics and I thought I would become a politician, but I'm glad I didn't. That's a story for another day. But what I'm trying to say is that I have strong views, I have very strong opinions, and that's why I've found myself, and I've been fortunate enough to find myself in a lot of places and on a lot of platforms where I've been able to share my opinion. And at some point I was holding back a lot, and I was just feeling like, oh my goodness, I can't really say how I feel because what are people gonna think? And then I just started working on it, and I was like, girl, no. When you have something to say, as long as it's not infringing on another person's rights, as long as it is not taking away from their personhood or humanity, as long as you are not threatening to kill anyone or you're not threatening to gut anyone, then you are allowed to share your opinion and you're allowed to speak your mind. And however the next person receives it is how they receive it. But as long as you're not causing harm, then you're allowed to say exactly how you feel. You're allowed to speak your mind. You are allowed to share your perspective. And just overall sharing my opinion and giving life a chance over and over and over and over again. I'm so happy that I don't give up on myself and on life as easily as I would have before. Let's just throw it back very quickly to like 5 months ago. I was struggling a lot with wanting to keep going. It just felt like I'd reached a dead end. And sometimes in life it will be one dead end after the other, and then you'll just feel like, I'm stopping. There's no way that we're moving forward, because what the hell is this? Like, what is this that's going on? But I found that the more I've worked through those emotions and the more I felt them, I have wanted to keep on going, like give myself a chance over and over and over again. And I also want to say, please don't be dismissive of how you feel. Don't be dismissive of where you are in your life. Feel those emotions, work through them whichever way you want to work through them. If you're going to see a therapist, if you're going to speak to someone that's closest to you, if you're going to journal, if you are going to voice record or video record yourself talking to yourself, do that. But feel your emotions and work through them, and let that happen. Don't dismiss it, let it happen, and I promise it makes the world's difference. So yes, I'm just really happy that I can say confidently that I'm truly becoming the big little girl, or the big girl rather, little me would have loved to be around, who she would have felt safe around. I'm enjoying my company so much, and I just feel like I will be able to freely open myself up to my loved ones, even now more than ever, enjoying my company as well, or enjoying me and who I am to them. So yes, I'm so happy. I'm really happy from the bottom of my heart that big me is definitely somebody that little me would have felt safe around. She would have felt loved. She would have felt cared for. She would have felt affirmed, and she would have felt seen. Those are all of the things that I know now would have made a huge difference in my life back then, when I was like 12 years old and all these things were happening, 12, 13, 14ish, and all these things were happening actually right until the age of, I want to say, 23. The person that I am now is the person that I would have want to would have been around, or the person that I would have felt safest around. And oh my goodness, I wish I had the words to describe how that makes me feel. I feel very emotional, but mostly I feel very proud, because damn, I did that. Like I'm doing that, rather. I'm getting to a place where little me would have felt safe around big me. Like it would have been no pressure. It would have been it would have just been free and kind and graceful and just like really, really warm. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad that that's something that I can acknowledge right now. And I'm also glad that even though my life keeps changing in so many unique ways, I'm learning to appreciate that too, learning to understand that I live in seasons, and learning to understand that they need to be embraced as they are, that life is life, and that it doesn't have a personal vendetta against me, that it's just life, and that I have to take it as it is, and that the more internal work I do, the better things get. That there is plenty of freedom in wanting better for myself. And the more internal work I do, the more I can enjoy the external stuff. Like, I can really enjoy spaces and time and people, and I can enjoy going out, and I can know what going out looks for me. Like, I'm not stretching myself out thin because everybody else is like going from one venue or another. If my going out stops at 6 o'clock at night, or if it stops at 10 o'clock at night, then it stops for me and I go back home. You know what I mean? The little things like that for me, it's really, really that the more internal work I do, the better things get for me, and that there is plenty of freedom in wanting better for myself, So yes, I feel very affirmed right now by me. I feel very affirmed right now by the growth and the improvements that I have been making. It feels great. I know that my dreams are very valid, and that so am I, that I'm worth it, whether I have lots of money in my bank account or not, that there are still so many hurdles that I'm faced with, but they don't stop me, and I'm able to navigate them far better than I would have been before. And that's truly the important thing for me, that me, when I was 20, like almost 6 years ago now, is not the me that I am now. And it's so encouraging to see how much growth has happened for me over the last few years, and I look forward to be able to grow even more in the coming years. And I really am proud to be the person that I am, and to be the person that I'm becoming. And I really just want to say thank you to the Black women that have added to my growth, my friends who I consider my sisters, my mom who has and continues to nurture me tenderly and with so much kindness, the black women I've become acquainted with on the internet that have extended so much love, kindness, and grace towards me. I'm eternally grateful to the Black women in my family who set the foundation for me to see through a legacy that will be carried forth by many future generations of Black girls and women. The community of Black women that surround me are a big reason why I've been able to record this episode, and why I've felt comfortable enough to be as vulnerable as I have today. I really want each and every Black woman to find the healing, peace, and happiness that they're looking for. I want that for each and every one of us. I know that things can be very difficult, often extra difficult for us, because there are so many experiences that are traumatic. The really big one is the violence perpetrated against us by institutions, by men, just having your personal space violated, the catcalling, the pay gap, having to watch your subordinates, if you are in, for example, a managerial position, being pushed forward because they are of a different race, or because they are a man. There are so many difficulties that we experience. There is a lot that we have to navigate, and we still have to prioritize our well-being, and we still have to nurture our inner child, and we still have to make sure that we are becoming the women that we want to become. There is so much going on, and I really appreciate that there are also many, many communities of Black women that are supportive and that are loving and that want to be a support structure for the other women in their lives, the other Black women in their lives. So through the struggles and through the hardships and through the trauma and just having to find a way to survive in the world every other day, I really do want all of us to find the healing, peace, and happiness that we are looking for. I want us to all know the comfort of having love, grace, and kindness as stepping stones to our well-being and achieving the kind of joy that we all individually want. I want that peace for us. I want that comfort for us, and I really hope that that's something we can all get to, we can all reach for, we can all find for ourselves. And I know that it's not an easy thing to do, but I encourage you to just keep working towards that and keep working towards making yourself or seeing yourself as the big girl that the little you wanted to be around. I really want that for each and every Black woman, and I want all the little Black girls to understand the importance of community as well from the time that they are able to understand that, and I want them to grow up in that, because being loved by a community of Black women is something very, very, very special that I will never, ever, ever take for granted. I really will never take for granted. I think this is a good place to end today's episode. This was very impromptu also, because if I had to, like I said, make the adjustments that I had to make, I just decided that I'm going to then go ahead with this impromptu episode. But I'm glad that I did, and it just feels so peaceful. I'm happy. It feels really nice. It feels so good. And I'm even happier that I was able to share this on a cup full. And I hope that it has been of comfort to you who is listening. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please, please, please do share this episode and the podcast in general as far and wide as you possibly can. And if you haven't listened to the 14 episodes before this one, please do go and do that. There is plenty where this came from. There is so much more to indulge in and so much more to enjoy. A Cupful is also on Instagram. The handle is at @a_cupful. The DMs are always open, and the comment section of this week's post are also open. If you have any thoughts to share, you are more than welcome to do so. Cupful is also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Amazon Music. So please do share it, and also please don't forget to give it a 5-star rating. We both know that you enjoyed hearing my voice. We both know that you enjoyed today's topic. We both know that you will be coming back because you like it here, you love it here. So why not just give me a 5-star rating, or give a Cupful rather a 5-star rating? Not me, a Cupful. Okay, well, I am a Cupful. Anyways, give a Cupful a 5-star rating, please. And like I said, if you have any thoughts to share, the DMs on Instagram are always, always, always open. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to this podcast. Thank you so much for the kind words, for the affirmations, for making me aware how impactful this podcast has been. That is the biggest purpose of it. That is the biggest reason why it exists, for it to be impactful, and for it to make a difference in the lives of those who listen to it. Whether it's a big difference or it's a small difference, as long as it makes a difference. I'm really, really, really looking forward to the remainder of this month, or the coming weeks of this month, because like I said, I'm looking forward to sharing what I have in store with everyone. Please do enjoy the rest of your week, and rest when you need to, play when you need to, take good care of yourself, and keep doing the things that fill your cup up.